35 of Folks. Here comes the caution.
Flag is dropped here at Daytona, and away we go for the first time. Nicholas Porcel, Sean.
Looks like most get through unscathed. Look at that, there's Reed Gibson. A big move at the inside line of Dom's, possibly a little bit of contact.
Now as we've got three wide action going through turns 1 and 2.
And they're underway. Eric Hahn takes a nice jump. Wilson hasn't let him go very far.
Go out here for Circuit Spa Francorchamps. Alex Johnson's off to a brilliant start there.
Just how oddly shaped this one is. We saw in the background Eric Hahn go for a bit of a swing, and he's gone and he's over.
New stuff. Cody Graham's the one-on-one up into second place. Alex Johnson 6/10 lead at the moment.
They're dicey up front. There's Andrew Kessel, Justin Sang.
They are ready to go. The lights are out, and away we go for the very first time here at Okayama International Circuit. Finley Fitzsimmons.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to the Rescreened LLC Late Model Series here at the Spark Racing League. It's round 3 and 5 Flag Speedway as we get ready to send these Titans out on track. Right now they're doing a brief warm-up before our feature event. Looks like about 22 drivers making their way out to 5 Flags here today, and going to be another great race. Welcome as always to our friends, fans, and family tune in, supporting the drivers, supporting the podcast. And let's go ahead and run through the starting order for today's main event. On pole, Robert Probst, number 5 machine. Johnny Rapp starting 2nd. Dalton Creech starting 3rd. Matt Spink starting 4th. Ray Beeb starting 5th. Justin Brooks starting 6th. John Johnson starts 7th. Devin Jack starting 8th. Kenneth Gallman starting 9th. Nick Beaver starting 10th. Kenny Troughton starting 11th. Brian Brope starting 12th. Cycling in the back, Samuel Stoner starting 13th. Lucas Longmire starts 14th. Jade Grajewski starting 15th. Clifton Simmons starting 16th. Dylan Potts starts 17th. Robert LaPierre starting 18th. Vincent Weaver starting 19th. Robert Liedl starting 20th. Bob Belshaw starts 21st. And Tony Caputo rounds out the 22-car grid here today. Now, as a reminder to the fans, the top 6 from qualifying are inverted for that start. So Rapp, Probst, Spinks, Creech, Brooks, and Ray Beeb all in an inverted spot here as we get ready to send them out. It's going to be 100 laps here at 5 Flags. And looking to see what these late model Titans can do. Now, Justin Brooks has 2 in a row as far as wins here. Will it be somebody interrupting the winning streak of that 33 machine? Or is Brooks going to be the first driver to make it back-to-back here? Back-to-back-to-back, I should say, with a 3-peat. Now, drivers have no fast repair available to them. So if you find yourself with a crashed race car, you are done, you are out. Now, I'm looking forward to seeing what Nick Beaver can do in that number 10 machine. He's going to be starting 10th here today. This is his first entry in the Spark Racing Rescreen Late Model Series. The safety car is down pit road, and we are green flag racing for 100 laps. Robert Probst is going to lead the field into turn 1. Right behind him, that's Creech and Rapp side by side for 2nd. Rapp pushes high. Creech is going to take the line. I see a little bit more action. That's going to be Sean Johnson and Justin Brooks side by side. Johnson guarding the inside line. Brooks ripping up against the wall right behind them. You can see Devin Jack, Kenneth Gallman right inside the top 10 as well. Brooks holding on to the race lead. Creech is hunting right behind that number 5 machine. And there is the 33 of Justin Brooks, still side by side with Matt Spinks in the 35 machine. Spinks seems to be holding a little bit lower in line as Brooks ripping about that mid to high line. It seems like it's working well. Now, we haven't really seen the opportunity of too many green flag runs here for these late model drivers, so it's going to be interesting to see if that can maybe be something that happens later on in the season. And hey, maybe tonight is the night. It's still Brooks, Creech, Rapp, 1, 2, 3. Rapp down 1 spot for 52 machine, holding about a quarter of a second advantage over Justin Brooks in 4th. Dalton Creech about a quarter of a second ahead of that 52, sitting in 2nd. Go a little bit further back, still a lot of action across the pack. You're focusing on Vincent Weaver and Dylan Potts battling side by side right behind them. Tony Caputo, Bob Belshaw, as Robert LaPierre, Robert Liedl, and Clifton Simmons have fallen back a little bit on the standings. So good racing all across the track. Going back up front, Robert Brooks. He has company from Dalton Creech. And the Tiger painted number 36 machine, Justin Brooks, has worked his way up into third in the 33 as Ray Beebe and Johnny Rapp battling for fourth. Looks like the 35 of Matt Spinks getting the mix. We've got Grizzly joining us in the spectator area, cheering on that 71 machine of Kenneth Gallman. Oh, they're getting racy up front. Creech takes a look to the inside line against Brooks, gets a little bit loose. Brooks and Brooks running that same middle line, trying to carry a little bit more momentum, but you can tell Creech really trying to dive it in there. And Creech looks like he might lose ground here. Here comes Justin Brooks charging through the field. That is going to be the fourth spot gain for Brooks. Now he qualified in the top spot with that inverted grid. He had to start back in sixth. So slowly picking away at the field here. Now we talked about Kenneth Gallman earlier on that 71. He's down 3 spots, getting chased by Brian Brobst in that number 11 machine. Now we've got 12 laps of green flag racing so far. I wonder, we might see tire wear becoming a factor at this event. We didn't really get to see it too much in the opening 2 rounds. It was a series of sprint races. And who do we have there? It's Justin Brooks in the 33, side by side with Brooks. Brooks getting pushed a little bit high. Now Creech trying to take advantage there in the 36. Brooks is going to find himself, I think, losing 2 spots as he's way up against the wall, almost into the marbles there. Trying to get that number 5 machine, diving in the corners a little bit, seeing if he can get it pointed back down low, going for a bit of a high-low move. But Creech blocking the line there in the 36, and that is allowing Ray Beebe and Matt Spinks to close the gap as well to the race leaders. Now this is what the rest of the field did not want to see, is Brooks in that 33 machine went with clean air on the hood of that car. There's a good chance Brooks can hammer down and keep going. Looks like we've got a battle for 6. Sean Johnson feeling the pressure from Nick Beaver, the newcomer, the number 10 machine. Behind them, there's Devin Jack, Johnny Rapp, Kenny Troughton, holding just inside the top 10. All 22 drivers that started still out on track. But it's not going to be long, I think, before Justin Brooks is going to find himself facing lap traffic, and it is going to be a freight train of traffic that the 33 machine finds. We pan back up front to Brooks. Dalton Creech doing a good job sticking with that 33 machine. But I think in the next lap or two, we're going to see Brooks run into traffic. Nicholas Trollman joining us in the spectator area, cheering on for Mr. Nick Beaver. We've also got Ashton Causer joining us. Causer making a good point. Rapp is down 7 spots from where he started this race in the 52 machine. I'm not sure if maybe he's fighting the setup or maybe expecting a big crash here and a chance of reprieve. So far, drivers doing a great job clicking it off single file. There's the lap traffic heading into turns 3 and 4. I think that's going to be Dylan Potts, the number 2 machine. Will be the first driver to go a lap down here if things continue where they are. But things are getting mighty hectic right outside the top 5. You've got Johnson, Beaver, Jack, Rapp, Troughton, Stoner all in the mix here. John Johnson doing everything he can to fend off the number 10 machine, and Johnson trying to keep the momentum forward against Matt Spinks in the 35. This is Spinks' second start at the Rescreened, a late model regional tour. But what's going to happen to the field here as they start to approach traffic? Also looked like Ray Beebe was taking a look at the inside line against Robert Brooks' number 5 machine. what we're waiting for. Brooks is going to have traffic ahead of him. Dalton Creech staying right on the heels of the 33 machine. Well done to Creech, really pacing the odds-on favorite here of Brooks. Maybe kind of picking up some notes here, watching the line, seeing how things develop. Robert Brooks is going to get overtaken, I think, by Matt Spinks in the 35. Spinks down low. Robert Brooks running the mid to high line. Looks like Johnson and Beaver are going to tuck in behind Spinks here. And this is where things are going to get dicey. Brooks takes a look to the inside line of Potts. Potts goes wide, trying to hop out of the way of the race leaders. No blue flags in oval racing, especially on a short track Monday night. It seems like all the action right now, fourth place back, Spinks has retaken his fourth place starting spot, but we've got a crash reported out on the circuit. And the caution is going to come out as Johnny Rapp finds himself nosed into the wall of the field, trying to hop out of the way here. I think Rapp looking for a safe spot to rejoin. Now let's get the replay queued up, see what happened in that 52 machine. That's going to bring out our first caution just shy of 30 laps in. There's Rapp in the 52. Does he get a little bit of nudge from the 25? I wonder. It looks like he does. That was the 25 of Kenny Troughton. And that will send the very clean 52 machine around. So we are going to go under pacing scenarios behind the iRacing safety car. Dylan Potts, that number 2 machine, I believe is going to get the lucky dog here and get waved around. First caution of the night here at Five Flags. It's going to be Brooks and Creech on the front row. Beebe, Spinks your second row. Brobst and Johnson will make up the third row. Now let's give a tip of the hat here to Tony Caputo in that number 14 machine. Had a rough go in qualifying, a rougher time in the LCQ, but has been able to crawl up 9 positions here tonight and put that number 14 machine all the way up into 13th. Now, looks like all 22 drivers still out on track here. Safety car is in. Brooks early on the throttle. And we are underway for our first restart. Now keep an eye out, Ray Beebe. That 89 machine going to try and look to the inside line of Creech. Might have had the track vision at the start, but Creech is going to be able to defend here in the 36. Looks like Nick Beaver is going to try the exact same move up the inside line against Robert Brobst. Now I believe Beaver races late models and in air quotes here, real life, so good to see him coming out on track against so many Titans. Robert Brobst, no stranger to oval racing as well, up high in the number 5 machine, trying to fend off, but I think Beaver's going to have the line here, but they've got to be careful. That's going to tighten things up where Spinks, Stoner, Ooh, it's a busy field right behind. Johnson and Jack also side by side. We are 2 wide and 2 rows deep from about 6th place back here. Very good drivers coming out every Monday night here at the Rescreened Late Model Series. Stoner, Spinks, Jack, and Johnson in a nice, tidy bunch here, running 6th through 9th. Beaver got a little bit of a breakaway, has worked his way up inside the top 4. Brooks still out front, holding about a 1/4 second advantage over Creech. Now it took about 20-25 laps for Brooks to run into lap traffic. So with us resetting the field here, it might be another 25 laps or so before we see that happen, if there isn't any cautions between then. We gotta hand it to these drivers. They're doing a great job running clean, running fast out on track. Now you can tell the tire wear is starting to slowly happen as they are already about 4/10 off their fastest lap of the race, and as the tires start to degrade, makes it a little bit tougher to throw that car in where you're looking for and make some aggressive passes. Let's go back to Justin Brooks, your race leader. He has Creech and Beebe right there off the tail. So it's Brooks, Creech, Beebe, 1, 2, 3. Right now, coming into tonight, your points leader, Justin Brooks, in the #1 spot for points. Kenny Trout in 2nd, Devin Jack in 3rd, tied for 3rd with Rob Liedl, and Kenneth Gallman sitting 5th in the points. So Ray Beebe keeping the pressure on Dalton Creech, but Beebe's got to be careful. Here comes Beaver in that number 10 machine. Beaver going to be able to get up there and fight for a podium? Or is he going to take his opportunity to hang back? I would imagine you're going to see both Creech and Beaver running 2nd and 4th. Oh, I'm going to interrupt myself, as there's going to be a caution. It's going to be a big one, I think. Look like Lucas Longmire went off track. And that may be what brought out the caution. Let's take a look here. Focusing on Longmire's number 55 machine. He gets a tag from the 25, goes off track, but it was further ahead, another incident. With Brian Brooks, I think, involved in that one. So we're focusing on the number 11, so it's going to be after the caution. The caution comes out, no, is the 65 further ahead, Sam Stoner is going to initiate the incident. So 2 different issues. Longmire gets tagged by the 25. Now let's see what happened to Stoner here. I think Stoner had to check up a little bit. And then, so Stoner got tagged by the 49 of Devin Jack. I'm not sure what caused the checkup there. Maybe seeing the caution. So 2 different incidents on that one to bring out our 2nd caution of the night just before the halfway mark. But what I was saying before that incident, I would have imagined Creech and Beaver running 2nd and 4th. We're going to be a little bit more aggressive trying to get up a spot. If you can start in an odd number for a restart, you have the inside line. Historically, if you can time it right behind Brooks, that is a very good opportunity to try and get some passes. We're lined up behind the iRacing safety car. Still looks like all 22 drivers out on track. Brooks and Creech, your front row. Beebe and Beaver, your 2nd row. Ropes and Spinks, your 3rd rows. We are green flag racing once more. Side by side, Ray Beebe and Creech. That's that inside line we were talking about. Beaver's going to tuck in behind Beav here and see if they can put Creech 2 spots down. Robert Brobes chasing along in that number 5 machine. Now, as the tire wear becomes a factor, it's tougher to hold that inside line, but we're going to get interrupted. Another caution coming out shows Brian Brope, Sean Johnson, Dylan Potts, Robert LaPierre, Robert Liedl all involved. Oh, a little bit of tandem crashing. I think it's on the start-finish line straight. And I just heard the other incident there. Let's see. I think Robert Liedl is going to come into this one a little bit late. So is Dylan Potts and Robert LaPierre getting involved in the late part of that caution. Let's see what happened to number 2 of Potts. There's that big crash ahead of him, and then Potts unfortunately gets run over a little bit there from LaPierre. I'd say Potts did the right thing. He was hard on the brakes. When these drivers are sliding around the racing surface and involved in an incident, you never quite know where they're going to slide. And that will be our 3rd caution of the evening. So we are officially past the halfway mark of today's main event. Current top 5, Brooks, Beeb, Creech, Beaver, and Bropes. So keep an eye out again. This time, it's going to be Creech and Bropes starting on the inside line, 3rd and 5th positions. Brooks will once again be starting up front for the field, getting plenty of practice on those restarts. Backing them up, double file once more. And let's see how it goes here. Brooks starting off strong once more. I think I see Creech guarding the inside line, side by side with Beaver. That's going to be the battle for 3rd. Creech back up into a podium spot. Brooks and Beaver trying to get a little bit of a breakaway here, as it looks like that was Creech and Beaver breathing on each other. And I heard a couple drivers knocking down the walls here at 5 Flags. But the field's going to settle in single file a little bit here, 1st through 4th. Robert Brooks still holding on to a top 5. Brooks has quickly put a half second on the rest of the field. Now, we always say cautions breed cautions. I wonder if that's going to be the case, as now drivers starting to get their elbows out a little bit more. Brooks feeling good up front, clicks off the fastest lap of the race, a 16.49. A little bit further back, there's Spinks and Jack side by side, the battle for 6th. Jack is up high, Spinks down low. And Robert Brooks still sitting 5th in that number 5 machine. Other side-by-side racing, we have Johnny Rapp, Bob Belshaw. Looks like no, Belshaw's going to get overtaken, as here comes Dave Grajewski, the number 6 machine, getting some momentum built up. This is the point of the race where we're going to see drivers who could save their tires a little bit better start to make moves here and there. If you overdrive that front right tire, it is easy to push wide in the corners and find yourself slowly losing ground. Looks like the battle for third not quite decided here, as Beaver tucked in behind Creech. Creech lost a couple of tenths of a second over the last lap. Not sure if he must have had some sort of mistake or maybe something else amiss. Ray Beebe pacing along behind Justin Brooks, your race leader. Looks like Grajewski's still making ground here as well at number 6. Side by side with Vincent Weaver sporting the number 1. I think Grajewski did a lot of tire saving early on here, and now willing to let it rip a little bit more. Grajewski has about 35 laps left in this main event to see if he can keep that momentum going. Right now, Grajewski's about 0.8 of a second back from Johnny Rapp, sitting in 10th. Also looked like Vincent Weaver might have had a checkup because right behind him, no side next to him, is Brian Brobst. They're both side by side. Brian Brobst, Vincent Weaver behind the number 44 of Bob Belshaw. Looks like we've had something going on up front, as now Beaver has fallen back to 4th. Beaver was in 4th, so it's a little bit behind him. Robert Brobst, Devin Jack side by side. There's Spinks in 5th, the number 35 machine. Now we saw 3 wide racing the opening round of the season. Are we going to see it again here at 5 Flags? Looks like that was, I think, Caputo, number 14 machine, stepped out a little bit. Yeah, it was. Right ahead of Kenny Trout's number 25. Caputo up 14 spots here tonight. So it took him a while to get comfortable, but man, is he making it happen. Now the top 3 of Brooks, Beebe, and Creech have built up about, top 4 built up about almost a 2-second gap over 5th place back. There's your top 4, just out of frame to the left. That was Justin Brooks. So it's Beebe, Creech, and Beaver. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th separated by about 0.3 between the 3 of them here. Track position is king, so I think these drivers aren't going to be waiting too long. If they see a passing opportunity perk up, they're going to take it here. Here comes Creech looking at the inside line of Beebe. Beebe gets a little bit better drive out of 4. Side by side, they go on the backstretch here at 5 Flags. It's the battle for 2nd. Beebe up top, Creech down low, Beaver looking for an opening. Brooks looking in the rearview mirror, happy that all of that is behind that number 33 machine. Still side by side, Creech and Beebe putting on a show door to door. Still side by side through 3 and 4. Beaver looks for an opening, just can't quite find it here. Was following Creech down low, goes back up high. Tucks back down low again. Beaver trying to dime in the corners. He's tucked in right behind Creech. We don't see too much bump drafting in late models on short tracks, but that might be what we see here, and it might get interrupted by a caution. Yes, we are going to have a caution right as this battle was really getting warmed up. It showed Lucas Longmire involved in that with number 55. Well, let's see. Was that a solo incident, or is Longmire going to get a little bit of help here? Longmire in the 55. Just got a little bit of a nudge there from the 80 of Robert Liedl. And Longmire will go around, bringing out a caution once more. Man, oh man, what a race this is. It's going to be less than 25 laps left to go here. And what a great race from these drivers at 5 Flags. it's going to be about 20 laps left to go, I think, once we get them fired back up. Justin Brooks still your race leader. Creech starting second. Ray Beebe third. Nick Beaver and Matt Spinks will round out the top 5 here. We're gridded up once more. We've had some good green flag runs here tonight. Safety car is in, immediately Brooks on the throttle. Ray Beebe's gonna try and capitalize that on the inside line. Keep an eye out, here comes Matt Spinks as well. That 35 though, easy to see, yellow and red 35. Beaver trying to follow Creech here, carrying as much speed as they can. And it looks to be working for a moment. Brooks is out front. But now we've got a battle for third. Beaver and Beebe side by side here. Beebe on the inside. Beaver running a little bit higher. Looks like Beaver slowly gaining ground in that number 10 machine. Brooks, your race leader, absolutely checking out here. Now, Beaver wants to hold this spot, especially if we might have a caution. That inside line can be dominant on the restarts. Beaver trying everything he can to get low, but man, Beaver is going to make him fight for every inch of ground here, still side by side. Beaver hasn't been able to pull a 1/10 of a second yet here. Looks like Beaver's going to get clear, finally drop down to his preferred line. So now it's going to be Brooks, Creech, and Beaver, but while that's been going on, Brooks has pulled a second gap on the entirety of the field here. I heard somebody sliding around a little bit, didn't see a caution as Caputo and Rapp side by side for 8. Rapp has been having an uphill battle here tonight, but seems to be getting that momentum going once more. But keep an eye out, Dave Grajewski, Tony Caputo have been having a great run as well, and Grajewski looks to be side by side with Rapp here, as we've got great racing all across the circuit. There's Rapp side by side with Grajewski once more. Behind them, that's Brian Brooks, Tony Caputo. You got Bob Belshaw, Kenneth Gallman, Clifton Simmons, all here in the fray. It is a fist fight in a phone booth here at Langley. 13 laps left to go. Brooks looks to be charging forward. He's built up 1.5 seconds on the rest of the field. As we've got more and more drivers beating up the wall here. Looks like Kenny Trout side by side with Devin Jack. That's going to be the battle for 6th on screen. If Trout can hold on to it, that'll be his 5th position gain. And I think I saw a battle for 2nd. Creech is holding on to it, but Beaver getting more comfortable as the laps progress now. Beaver in 3rd does not want to slow this pace down because we know Ray Beebe, Matt Spinks right there to try and fight right back. As I also saw Justin Brooks handling a little bit of lap traffic. I think that was Lucas Longmire in the 55 machine. Beaver trying the outside line against Creech here down the back stretch at 5 flags. Beebe hoping for some sort of mistake here as he wants to get back on the podium. It's 8 laps left to go. Vincent Weaver came down pit road, hopping out of the way of the race leaders in that number 1 machine. Side by side for 2nd, it's Beaver and Creech. Keep an eye out on Ray Beebe, he wants to get the position. Matt Spinks also there as well, running 5th. Beaver has momentum. Beaver taking over the 2nd place spot, but Brooks, your race leader, 2.6 seconds ahead of the rest of the field here. for his first race here at the Rescreened Late Model Regional Tour at the Spark Racing League. Beaver doing a fantastic job. Oh, we have somebody. Who was that getting launched? That was Brian Brobst, a hard hit. Kenneth Gallman, Clifton Simmons, Dave Grajewski also tied up in that. But that was a huge hit for Brobst. Thought he was going up and over the fence there, so let's check that one out. Focusing on the number 11 machine, right side of your screen. Brobst goes high, gets into Grajewski, and he does all the way over. Goes Brobst, the number 11. Hard parts flying. Grajewski won't get out of that one unscathed. He gets tagged, I think. Kenneth Gallman's right behind. I think that was the 32. No, it wasn't Johnson. That was Clifton Simmons also involved in that one. And a massive moment that might put us into green-white checker conditions. It's going to. Ooh, this is going to be dicey. I'm going to verify this. We have one green-white checker attempt available tonight. A final shootout that we're about to go into. If the race leader can take the white flag before we have another caution, we will end this thing under green. But if we have a caution before the white flag is thrown for the race leader, we will end this thing under caution. So this is going to be a shootout, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be Brooks and Beaver on the front row. Breach and Beav your second row. Spinks and Trouton your third row. Now, as soon as available, Brooks has been hitting the throttle all night long, firing these restarts off. So it's going to be a battle out front. Brooks, the 10,000 I rating oval driver. Beaver, the real world late model racer. Get ready to do battle, but you cannot discount Creech, Beep, really anybody inside the top 6 or 7 here. As we're going to do one more lap and get them gridded up double file. Where is Beaver going? I'm confused here. I didn't know there was a juice cone, but it looks like Brooks is going to start on the high side. Beaver is going to start down low. I think I hear people crashing under caution, but so we are underway. And we're going to immediately go into caution, I think. Is that our race? We had an incident under caution. Let's see what it was. Showed Luke is involved in this one. Lucas runs over the 71 of Kenneth Gallman. And then Sean Johnson gets tied up. So is that the race? No, the safety car is out. Oh, let's hope there's a race that's going to happen here. And yes, it looks like we're going to restart the clock, the green-white checker. So we still have a race on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. Brooks down low. Beaver's going to be starting up high. Behind them, it's Creech on the inside line, the 36. Beav starting high in the 89. We wait for that safety car to come down pit road. Brooks immediately on the throttle. Keep an eye out as Creech is going to go for the inside line here in the battle for second. Beaver made passes happen on the high side, but is he going to have enough time here? Creech guarding. No, Creech is going to push up a little bit, blocking that number 10 machine. White flag is out here at 5 flags. It is currently Brooks, Creech, and Beaver. Not sure if there's enough time left to make anything happen. Checkered flag will come out for Justin Brooks, making it 3 in a row here at the Rescreened Late Model Series. Dalton Creech will get second, and Nick Beaver will round out the top 3. We're going to get these drivers up here to victory lane. And what can best be described as an absolute wild night here. We've got Beaver, we've got Brooks, so we're just waiting on Creech to make his way up into the booth. As Brooks gives a good salute to the fans. So we're going to get things started with an old-time friend. Nick Beaver joined us in the 3rd place spot in the Fastenal back number 10. Beaver, we can best describe tonight as a fist fight in a phone booth. How would you describe it?
That sounds fairly accurate. Maybe more of the fist fighting was going on in the back. I couldn't really tell, but there was some side-to-side bumping up in the front there, which was so much fun. That was a lot of fun.
I mean, yeah, you guys put on an absolute great show. I know you from other racing where you never practice, but you could definitely tell by the mid to end of that run, you were kind of getting your groove, and we even saw you exploring some different lines out there on the track.
Yeah, I tried the outside early on, but I wasn't able to make it work. And as the tires started wearing down, I guess the outside worked a little bit more. Maybe, try to get the spotter, at least call the person on the inside. So they have to check up on the bottom a little more. But yeah, I think maybe 2 passes on the outside, which is 2 more than I expected. So it's good to see that you can at least run multi-lane in this car.
Yeah, a ton of fun to watch. Great to have you out here. A good season debut for the number 10. Will we see you out on track for the rest of the season is the big question.
I hope so. My schedule is very... it's hard to say what's going to come next. So every available Monday that I have, I'm definitely going to try to be here because this was there was a great example of what a fun oval league can be. I've been looking for one, and I think I found it.
Awesome, Beaver. Good to have you up here in the top 3. A great result tonight. And before I let you go, who do you want to give a shout to that helped to make it happen?
Just shout out to Nick Trollman. He's watching tonight. It's pretty cool. And then congratulations, Justin, Dalton. Hell of a drive. A lot of fun racing with you guys. So thanks for having me. Thanks, James, for putting on the show. As soon as I leave, I will be going back and watching this.
Awesome. Always a pleasure, Nick, and congrats again.
Thank you so much.
That was Nick Beaver bringing it home in 3rd. Up next, Mr. Dalton Creech joining us, the number 36 machine. Dalton, you guys didn't get a break at all in that one, it seemed like.
No, man. It was a good freaking race, man. I had so much fun.
2nd podium of the season, the highest result we've seen so far, the 36. And, man, you top 3 drivers, really the top 5, top 6. Non-stop action, great clean racing. And, I mean, you guys put on a fantastic show tonight.
Oh, yeah, man. There's a lot of talent in this league. I mean, definitely Justin Brooks, but, you have Beaver behind me. Beeb was great, man. These drivers are fantastic. You got other guys in here, Kenny Truton, like, these guys are so good, dude. It's just fun to race with them.
Now, Dalton, it seemed like track position on the restarts was absolutely paramount. So when you saw that last caution and knew you were going to have the inside line, what were you thinking on that one?
Well, I want to take you to the caution flag before the quick green flag. Justin Brooks went up to the top line, and I thought I was screwed, man, because he was playing the restart games, which I get, and I had no idea when he was going to go, but I knew that if I could get behind him, I could follow him. And he went up to the top, and I ended up losing that track position. And then on the restart, right after that, he decided to go back to the bottom, and I thought for sure I could get past Nick, and Um, sure enough, man, my tires were shot. My tires were so shot, but figured if I could get there, at least clear them on that very last restart, I could get the second place finish. Um, go ahead.
I was say, Dalton, you made it happen, man. I mean, track position was definitely king here tonight. And as you said, once the tires were off, it seemed like it was really tough for you guys to throw those cars around and kind of make those aggressive passes you were looking for.
Oh yeah, man. This setup started off super, super loose. And really didn't know what to expect in the long run. Of course, weather changing and all that. Um, but yeah, the car definitely tightened up at the end of the race, and uh, I thought I kind of expected to wear my right rear out, um, and ended up burning the right front. So it's kind of a crapshoot on what you're going to get with these late model stock cars and the setups. But overall, man, it was just a fantastic.
Well, Dalton, it was a ton of fun for us up here in the booth as well as for the fans at home. I know it for sure was for you drivers. And before I let you go and kind of relax after that shootout, who do you want to give a shout to that helped bring you home a second and the best result so far this season?
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, definitely. I'm sponsored by my gaming channel. You know, this is my first year putting myself on the car, so kind of cool. Me Audio, been working with those guys for a long time, man. They've definitely helped me out. Shout out to to Brandon Elvis. Sorry, he's helped me out tremendously with my racecraft, and it's starting to show with results like this.
Well, hey, glad it's working out. Ton of fun watching you grow and develop. And Dalton, we hope to have you back up here next week, my friend.
Yeah, man. Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate you broadcasting the race, man.
Thank you, sir. That was Dalton Creech finishing a very strong second, his best of the season. Up next, the man of the hour, Justin Brooks, making it 3 in a row. Maybe there's something to that 33 on the side of the race car.
Yes, sir. How's it going?
Good, Justin. Now, I know we saw you kind of change lines in a restart. First time I think we've seen that all season so far. What was the thought process on that, you going high for one of those?
I just wanted to throw everybody off. I didn't want anybody to expect like when I'm going and just basically be unpredictable. And that's the biggest thing to these restarts is being unpredictable and getting the jump and having that clean air.
Yeah, it seemed like every time there was a caution, that's just another opportunity for your race to go from great to terrible, especially after getting, I think at one point it was a 2.5-second lead. Now, when we saw that last, I don't even know if you call it a caution or an extended restart, were you worried we were going to finish this thing under yellow?
I wasn't too worried. I know that a few of the guys who are getting in multiple wrecks had pull out the track, so I knew everybody was going to clean it up a little bit, or else they're going to worry about the admins cracking down on them.
And Justin, I guess my final question here for you, man, is we talked to some of the other drivers about tire management, tire wear. I think this is the first race so far this season where tire wear has truly been an issue. We had some great runs here tonight, and a handful, a spattering of cautions, but how was the car handling over the run for you, and what were you doing to adapt to the ever-changing conditions?
It definitely started off on the free side, so like the first few laps, I just pushed it a little bit to try to get in the lead and then set the pace, and try to ride at a pace that I wanted to. Basically, try to drive hard as like enough to stay out front, but also save the rear tires. And as the cautions progressed, it started getting to the tight side, rolling over in the right front. So it was all about managing the right front at that point, and that's what I did until about lap, I'd say 70 or so, and then I started turning the switch on a little bit and showing what I really had and seeing what the car really had.
Well, Justin put on an absolute clinic, a ton of fun. First driver making it 3 in a row this season. A great finish for you and the team. And before I let you go and unwind from this one, who do you want to give a shout to that helps make it happen for you in that 33?
Thank you for putting this on. I want to thank all the admins for having a great league, a fun league to race in. Highly suggest anybody out there that's wanting to get in the late model stock racing here in iRacing, try it out. You definitely won't be disappointed, and thank anybody that's watching.
Awesome. Justin, always a pleasure, man. Hope to have you back up here next week, and congratulations on a great win here at Five Flags.
Appreciate it.
That was Mr. Justin Brooks bringing it home in the top spot here, round 3 of the Rescreened LLC Late Model Series at the Spark Racing League. Justin Brooks was accompanied by Dalton Creech in second, and Nick Beaver with his first podium and first appearance here at the league. As always, again, thank you to the fans, friends, and family tuning in, supporting the drivers, supporting the league, as well as supporting their broadcasts. On behalf of the Spark Racing League, as well as Team Goon Squad Broadcasting, my name has been James East, and I'll see you at the next one. Have a great night, everybody.